My name is Dawn Harden. I'm the Academic Director here at La Trobe College Australia. So it's a long name, but you'll hear us saying LTCA, just the initials. And in the way of Australian speaking, we'll probably slur it, LTCA. So just get used to that. We don't often say the whole La Trobe College Australia. It's good that you've all come here today. So lecture theatre 201, you're in, and you'll see that the number was 2. We're on level 2. So everywhere at the university, you tend to walk around on level 2. And it's not like, you know how a lot of our buildings, it's ground floor, first floor? Here it's 1. So it's level 1 is the ground, and you'll get used to that. So anything with a 2 is this floor, 201, your room, 203. And the student services people are up on 5. So it'll be 501, that's the thing. And this building is Sylvia Walton, and you'll see it says SW on your tum-tum. And that's the SRC we're talking about, nursing labs or chemistry labs or any of the science labs. They're over in buildings in the main campus. So you walk through here and you'll see that. I am happy to introduce Andrew Foley, College Director. He will acknowledge the country.
Okay.
Thank you. And then we'll have a few things and then I'll come back.
Where do I stand?
You can stand wherever you like.
So, good morning, everybody. The first thing I'd like to do is acknowledgement of the country. So I'd like to pay respects to the traditional owners of the land on which we are based today, the Wurundjeri people, the Kulin Nation, and to acknowledge elders past, present and future. So that's an acknowledgement of the Indigenous people of Australia. So I'd also like to say good morning and a big welcome to you. I'm probably the least important person that you will hear talking to you today. My name is Andrew and I'm College Director. So I won't have a lot of involvement with your day-to-day studies. Of course, it'll be your teachers, student services team, and your course advisors, etc., who will help you with your studies. I guess it's an exciting day. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Why are you nervous? I guess the first day is always a bit nervous to know what you're doing. So look, I guess welcome, but also congratulations. It's a study journey is a long path to, and you guys on a path to do a university education here at Trobe University. We'll be providing you one step on that way. And no doubt you've done a lot of hard work to get to this stage. So that's a congratulations to get the points we're here today. And then look to wish you all the best for your studies here at the college, where we work very hard to prepare you for your bachelor degrees, whatever your chosen field is, whether that's health sciences, business, IT, media and communications, psychology, bioscience, or the diplomas there, or perhaps even foundation program. The various teams will give you lots of information, important information, whether that's Don, SOMI, or the student services team. So, that was the same.
You've got to do that scholarship.
Scholarships, am I?
Oh.
So my other job here this morning, bloke in the suit, my other job apart from welcoming you here today, and so look, it is an exciting time. It's 3 trimesters in a year. It's trimester 3, so it is an exciting time because it's the first time, I guess, when we're really looking to being back to normal in terms of on campus, in terms of the facilities that you can access, going to classes in person, but also, have fully been able to integrate with studies, the university campus, and as you will have seen, it's a beautiful campus here at La Trobe in Mandurah. Lots of nature, birds and kangaroos and grass. It's a beautiful place for you to study in. So my other job here is to also congratulate our scholarship winners. And these are the highest achieving students in our program in the previous trimester. And we like to acknowledge them in a nice way with a nice prize. So it's not a $20 book voucher or anything like that.
No.
It's a whole free course, is it not?
It's probably $12,000 to $15,000 worth of tuition.
So we provide a free is it a free trimester
Yeah.
of studies for, is it 2 students? 1 student? 2 students. On the basis of their outstanding academic results in the previous period. Are they both here today, are they?
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
We're just talking about.
We just acknowledge them though, and so we're going to say congratulations to Renethi Thiasari Waratwanini Silva, who is studying in the Diploma of Health Science, and Chanuti Dinasari Warawatagagi Silva, who's also in the Diploma of Health Science. They're twins, are
They
they?
are, yes.
So it was a bit of a family affair in the last period of the two successful students who received a scholarship. So big congratulations to them, and perhaps an incentive to you guys that if you are able to be the number 1 or number 2
Yes.
students in the diploma in this study period, there could be a very good prize that would make you and perhaps your parents very happy as well. Anything else I should mention, Dom?
Do the students have questions for the principal?
Do you have any questions for me?
We have to apply for the scholarship or system.
We will, you don't have to apply. So I guess the only thing you have to apply is to apply yourself to your studies, I guess. And yeah, we will obviously, we do it every study period and we look at the results that students achieved in the courses. So no need to fill out any forms or to do any paperwork. It'll be an automatic process. Good question. Thank you. What's your name? John. What are you studying, John?
Business and international.
Okay, good. Well, good luck with your studies. Thank you for the question. And that's probably the last thing I'll say before I run away is, people might say, what do I need to do to be successful in my studies? Well, look, there's many things, but obviously what I would say is come to your classes in person as much as possible. Be participative in your classes. So take the opportunity to speak to other students and to ask as many questions of your teachers as possible. Like John's question, questions are a good idea and they're very good for learning. Yeah, look, you've got to do homework and do your assignments and put them all in. But the other thing is also to be well organised with your time management, to be autonomous and well organised. That will also put you in a good place for your studies. So that's probably all I'll say. I'll pass over to the rest of the team who will have much more important information to pass on to you. And all the best with your studies. Good luck with everything. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Those students that won the scholarship, they almost perfect scores in all their subjects, and that they were very happy that, as Andrew said, the parents are even happier, so that's good. Talking about La Trobe College, so we've been here for a long time, over 10 years in this building. No, there was another building, you'll see they're knocking it down over in Porterdale Road. So how long have we been?
8.5.
8.5, there you go. And we have pathways into the bachelor, which you all know, that's what a lot of you are doing. Some people are doing foundation studies, which is pre-diploma, and then diploma is first year of university. We have 7 diplomas at the moment, but we might have 9 soon. So we're looking at that too. Our academic staff are highly specialised. 50% of our staff have a PhD, and I think a further, almost the rest have a master's. So they're very highly qualified, very experienced, and have been doing this for a while. They'll be able to help you a lot. When you go to university, the best thing is our students, so our pathway students or our college students, do slightly better than non-pathway students. So we talk about retention, and so that's people that stick around. So you've done first year and you get to second year, third year. So with international students, 86% stick around, but with the regular, I'm saying regular, I'm trying not to say normal, other students, so if you went straight to uni, it's 83%. So our students are more likely to stay at uni than coming through here than other students. The same with domestic, so slightly higher again. Now your WAM, and you'll hear us talking about WAM a lot, weighted average mark, but all of our subjects are weighted the same. So it's your average mark. Some places call it your GPA and they work it out on like the number out of 5. We use the straight percentage. So your WAM is your average of your 8 subjects. So if you get 50% in all 8 subjects, your WAM is 50. Now, it does include subjects you fail. So if you're in a course that has an entry level to get to uni, so I think you need 65 to do nursing, you need an average of 65 for everything. So keep an eye on your scores just to make sure you average your WAM. And so we'll say WAM, you'll get used to it, is up there. Our students' average WAM is 68. But if you went through university without coming through the pathway, it's 66. So again, a little bit higher than university students. Domestic is slightly under, say 62, 68, but that's because there's a lot of domestic students here have gone into like medicine and that sort of thing. So they've gone in with really high marks, but still it's really close. It's very similar. So it's a really nice, you know, you're going to do as well, if not a little better than the students that started directly at the university. Here's all our diplomas. First year goes into second year. Sometimes you'll only get 5 or 6 subjects. You usually get all 8 subjects. So you usually get your whole first year done when you go to university. There's a couple of little ones, so like physio, you don't get as many subjects. So if it's a specialised course, sometimes you don't get all 8 subjects as a credit. So just keep your eye on that as well. Google the university and have a look at their subjects and see what you're doing. You'll see it's the same. So that, as you're reading that behind me, so if you have got your phone open, that whole list of WAMs, you'll see the entry level. Most of them are 50%. So as long as you get your diploma, you'll get into uni. But just check if there's some that might have. I think commerce has like 70% WAM. So it's a hard one. So just keep an eye on that. Is it 70 or has it dropped? They change every year, so that's why we just put the link to the webpage so that you can see what your required WAM is. Foundation, is there anyone here doing foundation? Oh, a few. Okay, so foundation, we look at your second semester subjects to get your WAM. So you get a little bit of a grace period with your first subject. So the first 4 subjects you do are your prep subjects. Your second 4 are the ones we take your average off. So it's to keep that in mind. So don't put all your energy into studying, but remember the second part's even more important. And you're all aiming for a full scholarship. Okay. Is it over to
Yes.
the issue, right?
Yeah. So as we were saying earlier, my name's Jodie. I'm part of the student services team. And we can certainly help you with any of the information above. So the student cards. Oops.
It's your mum.
Tell
Tell her you're here.
So student cards, any documents that you need. We certainly look after the student welfare and many more things, as we discussed earlier with a lot of you. Maybe some of you sort of came in later. Any login problems or anything like that. Anything academic, of course, will go to the academic side, but anything other than that, we can certainly help you with. And so within, we've actually got most of us here, have we? Yeah.
Are they hiding? Can they come in and say hello? They probably where we're going. That'd be pretty cool. Go down to Sonic. She's here.
So I'm Jody and this is Tommy. Melissa is actually upstairs working hard. And
Jenny?
Jenny and Austin.
Yes.
Here.
Mr. Lloyd?
And Lloyd over here who welcomed you in, and Yen also was welcoming you in. Is Nikki gone? And Nikki's run away from us. Nikki's our boss.
She's doing the next thing.
Yes. Okay, so for any overseas students who paid for their insurance through their offer, it's through Allianz. Any questions regarding your little ID card that's actually an online card these days, it's not a physical card. That's the email address that you should, or the website that you need to speak to them about. We have access to be able to send you their cards, but it's easier for you to contact them directly. Now, with working, certainly there is the right to work when you're studying. I think it's gone back to the 20 hours. Has it
No,
not?
it hasn't. So at the moment, you're allowed to work as many hours as you like, but please don't. You're here to study, and study is more important than work. I know it seems a luxury to be able to study, and it is, like, you're very lucky, but please don't work too much. So statistically, students that study between 10 and 15 hours a week actually do better than students that don't work at all, or paid work. So 10 to 15, for some reason, it makes you work harder at uni. I don't know why. Getting up to 20, you're starting to maybe compromise uni a little, school a little bit. But at the moment, with the unlimited work rights, there's a few people have failed their subjects. Now, your subjects are $3,500 each. You're not going to work enough to cover that. So it's just not worth it. Try, if you can, try and work less than 20 hours. So the 10 to 15 is good. And you've got your academic calendar. Tell your boss now, excuse me, when your exams are. So they're January. And if you're working in retail, they'll want you to work the whole time. So just let them know now that your exams are, I think they're the middle to the end of January. You'll need time off then. And if you don't have exams, you'll have these huge assignments that you have to hand in. And it kind of happens all of a sudden. So we have Christmas, then you come back and you'll have all these things due.
Mm.
You don't want to be working, and they will want you to be working. If you're in retail hospitality, it's a busy holiday time. So you've got to let them know early. And you're not allowed to use it as an excuse to hand your assignments in late. So just know now that work now, work now at the beginning, and then tell them you can't work in January. And then all through February you can work, because there's no classes in February. So you could work full time in February. So yes, you'll have no money through January, but at least you can make it up after that. And then this Fair Work, it's got the rates of pay. Don't let them pay you under what you should be earning, which I think is $33 an hour.
It depends on age.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So if you click on there, you'll see what they should be paying you.
Yeah.
And don't let anyone just pay you cash. They should be paying you the full amount.
And giving you a pay slip.
Yeah. And if not, come check with us. We'll check it out for you.
Absolutely.
I'll just go back to you.
Okay, so everyone is entitled to a free Microsoft Office, and to get your Microsoft Office, if you take a photo of the website there, and then you'll be able to download your Office 365. Now, of course, this will be available on the website, these slides, for anyone who wants to look them up later. And I'll pass you over to Sonic.
Okay, so we have SRC, you have met them earlier. Okay. So they are representing you, our students, and they will have monthly meeting with us and then raise any issue or concerns you have. So if you have any concerns, questions about your experience at Lathrop College, you can always raise them with our SRC members. And we will also recruit new members. So we will send out the invitation probably in week 2 or 3. So just keep an eye on your email, and if you're interested to be part of SRC, please respond to the email, and then we will select you as per policy. So yes, you already said I think. Yeah, so just keep an eye on your email, and also just check our student portal to get email address for them, so you can contact them if you have any questions.
Or if you just see us walking around, just stop us straight away. We don't care.
We would love to talk to you anytime.
Yeah.
Can I jump in? Yep. So, they're quite a powerful group. So we have an academic board with representatives from the university and from external industry, that sort of thing. And the board governs how the college works, and the SRC reports to the board. So there's been things that I think we had, the SRC wanted conversational English classes, we did that. So the things that the SRC request, I think we normally do. So it's a great group to be part of the SRC, but you also have power in the college. So keep that in mind as well. Because you came to the meeting, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, both of you. Yeah. I mean, it's a long meeting, but you're listened to, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's quite, so I'll just jump out. Yeah. Oh, it's that's it. I think they're here in real life. No? Okay. So depending on what diploma you're doing, you will have an academic coordinator to look after you. So yes, you've got all your teachers who are lovely, but you've also got your academic coordinator. So okay. If you are doing IT or engineering, your academic coordinator is Dragan Kale. And is anyone here? No, that's okay. So his email's there. Everyone is around today, so you might bump into them later if you need to talk to them. So Dragan does IT and engineering. Tina does the diploma of business. So there's a few business students here today. She looks after that, and we will soon have a diploma of business analytics as well. So that's the area. And Tina's been looking after this area for a long time. So I think you'll see her after lunch too. In the mini fair, yes. Yes. So they'll be 1 o'clock in the mini fair? Yeah, at 1 o'clock all the coordinators will be up on level 5. You can have a chat too. Sapphire is the Diploma of Health Sciences, and a lot of you saw him yesterday enrolling into health, and you'll see him this afternoon as well. Miranda has Foundation Studies and Diploma of Media and Communication. So some of the diplomas and certificates have subjects from different areas. So you might be doing a certificate in marketing, which is business, but some of the subjects are from media, which Miranda will look after. So some of you might have 2 academic coordinators to look after you. David Bauer is Diploma of Bioscience and Psychology. I know a few of you here today doing that. You'll see David later as well. And we actually have just the real person. So people who are aiming for a scholarship, you're looking at trying to get 95 in all of your assessments. So over 90 for, I think we've had people in the 80s get a scholarship before, but mostly it's over 90. If you're going into physio, OT, nursing, so the quota courses where they only, they take the top students, you are probably looking at trying to get higher grades. This is where you will make an appointment with Jason, Student Learning Advisor, or the team of peer
assisted
learning, student tutors. So all of you people who are just trying to get an extra couple of marks, we've got the whole team to do that. Or if you're, I'm not a very good academic writer, so I often need help with my, because academic writing is different to writing. So Jason and the team can help you with that proper academic writing. And there's whole some of the subjects you'll have a whole essay or a whole assignment and you have to do the correct, Jason, can you mic just for a minute? Referencing.
Yeah, reference.
So
There
it's-
is a spiel that I do have shortly anyway.
Oh, okay, so don't do it now. So it's just, so this is the sort of thing that, you know, a lot of people say, no, I'm really, you know, academically, I'm fine. I'm a self-directed learner. I can do everything. It's still important to get the right advice. So with referencing, you can lose 5 and 10 marks for doing the wrong referencing.
Yes.
Trust me, I know. And you would know this too.
I do.
Yes, because we all study as well. So and it's just like they take marks off for a comma. So just be aware that this is something that we've got people to help you with, or it might be that you just need a bit of extra tutoring because you can't understand the direction that the teacher is going. So I'll leave. Did you want to talk
Yes,
later?
fine.
Yeah, okay.
Which is my since, yeah.
Miranda, can you say hello?
Hi.
So Miranda's Foundation and Media. So there.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, there's more here.
Yeah.
So does
Media or foundation?
well, and the certificate of marketing, you do the media subjects, yeah? Done a few of those.
Nice to meet you all. Let me know if I can help you at all.
And Dr. Safa is health. There's half of these are health. Yep, there you go. And Tina?
Business.
Yeah. You're confused.
Yes.
Yay. Oh, that's really good. Alston, do you talk now or will I just talk about you?
He's talking.
I've got some other slides.
Yes.
So Jason.
Oh, yeah, that's Jason.
Is part of.
Oh, okay, and then you'll come in?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Got my message. You said some of the slides.
That it? I'll do that, flip back to the other one.
Yeah, okay. Yes, yes, I apologize. Great. Fantastic. Okay, hi everyone.
You want to do that
Like high
again?
school.
Yeah. It's like.
All right, so this is the learning support team or part of the learning support team. So we're going to briefly talk about the services that we have, how to learn, academic integrity and student policies as well. Okay. So firstly, student learning advisor, what do they do? And there's actually two of us. So there's me, Jason, we've got Noni as well. Okay. Noni is here to help you with anything that is for like science or psychology and maths. Okay, whereas I can assist you with writing, some study support, and like the science of actually learning as well. Okay, we can assist students with who may need a learning access plan. So this doesn't apply to most of you, but a learning access plan is for a student who may have a medical diagnosis, so they've been to their doctor, right? And they might have ADHD or autism or some sort of mental health that issue that impacts their learning, right? But it's not just like, oh yeah, I'm feeling stressed today, right? It impacts your life every day, and there is a diagnosis as well. If you think that's who you that could be good, then you can send me an email, and there's documentation that needs to be completed. The form that needs to be completed and documentation. We can help you with writing skills. So essay writing is going to be different from what you've done in your home country. There is a certain style that we like to use at university. So you can come and see us about that. We can check your work and give you feedback as well. And we can also, like, my background is English as a second language. So there'll also be some language analysis as well of your paragraphs. We can help you with assignments. So we're not going to do them for you, but we can show you, like, okay, this is the process of what you should do when you start an assignment. Also, we can be your study coach. So some students would like to meet with us every week just to check in to see what they're doing and to see if they're on the right track. And this is like high achieving students, students who are struggling. It's for everybody as well. So don't think that, you know, you come in to see me, there's a problem. It's all about getting prepared for university. It's very different, and to also get those grades that you want. We spoke about knowledge, you can help with science, and we can also help with research skills as well. So when you're doing your assignments, you'll have to use Google Scholar, not Google. All right? Has anyone heard of Google Scholar? Yeah, some people, great. Right, so you'll need to learn how to do that. There are some workshops coming up as well about that. So how do you make an appointment to see us? All right, it's really simple. You go to the student portal, and then if you click on support, and there's a drop-down box, and then you can book to see the student learning advisor Jason or student learning advisor Noni, and we also have Power Mentors too, who I'll talk about briefly. And then from there, you just read the instructions. So you can choose a day and a time of when you want to see us. We get sent an email. You can see us face to face or via Zoom as well. Just make sure you read the instructions clearly, so you've chosen the right appointment time. And if you have a face-to-face meeting, then it's on level 3 near the stairs as well. Power Mentors. All right, so Power Mentors are slightly different from the student learning advisors. They're not teachers, they're students who have done your course and now they're at university. So they're really good for general study tips. You might tell them, you might ask them, how did you start this assignment? Or how do you manage your time? What's it like being at university? Or, you know, we can talk about cultural differences as well. Okay, we do have one Power Mentor here, who is Hannah. So Hannah, can you just give us a brief chat about what you did and what you can do?
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Laptop College first of all. It's going to be an amazing experience for all of you today. A bit of background about myself. I studied here just like you all. I started last October. Yes, so it was pretty recent for me. So I have a really good idea of what all of you are going through today. But believe me, it's going to be an amazing journey because we all have all the support here, especially Jason, Noni, all your teachers here, the student representative members. You have help everywhere around you. And it's just a matter of reaching out, and we'll be always ready for you. And another thing is, as Jason said, I am a Power Mentor, so I'll be just helping you with general stuff, as he said, like how to study, how to plan your assignments, or you can just come and have a talk about, managing your time. Maybe it might be something you may feel overwhelmed by the amount of assignments you have or anything related. So you can always come reach out to us, and we'll always be there to help you. Pretty much. And just one more thing, aside from, I am doing health sciences and nursing subjects, whereas we have other Power Mentors who is doing bioscience, business, and we have Power Mentors specific for each subject. So when you go through your Moodle, you can book an appointment with us, and you can go through each Power Mentor to see who's more suitable for your subjects, and you can reach out to us. Thank you.
Yeah, so sometimes, some of you maybe don't have a friend here. Well, you've got a Power Mentor, you can go and talk to them. We'll just have a bit of a debrief as well. So the Power Mentors, as I said, you can make an appointment to see them, or you can just drop in and see them as well. So on level 5, we have a learning lounge, which you'll see today, and Hannah will be there, it'll be open, and you can just walk in, do some study if you like, if the door's open, or there's also RTD desk. That's where you can make an appointment or just walk in as well. Okay. There's also resources like so we have books, and the Powers will be doing study sessions there too. So for example, you might want to review, if you're doing HBA, you might, and then Holly is one of our other Power Mentors, she'll be running like a weekly HBA revision. So you might want to go there and do some revision. We've also got flashcards as well that that you can use with a PAL mentor. So there's lots of help. You just have to go and get it, and it's free, right? And yeah, to make an appointment, click on support, book a PAL mentor, and just make sure you really read the instructions as well. Okay. You can meet the PALs face to face or on. All right, let's look at how to learn. Right. So some of you might have these skills, some of you might not. So let's look at a few ways to do it. So what we recommend is we want you to do the weekly activities and the readings in advance. So if you might have access to some of your subjects already, so you might want to have a look at the outline of what you have to do each week, just to get an idea. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to look at your assignments, and then you're going to put them in your calendar and put deadlines, right? We don't want to put them up here. The brain can be a bit unreliable at times, right? But we have a calendar, maybe we want to use a phone, or we can use like a diary, old school. I know some people, they like to actually make it in calendar. It's also really important to make friends, okay? So if you have friends, you're going to enjoy coming to school or coming to college a lot more, and you can form study groups. And when you have these study groups, you can actually like review and ask each other questions. And if you can teach someone a topic that you know, then it's going to help you remember as well. Okay, it's far more effective than simply reading notes. And you could also like form WhatsApp groups as well. So you guys are all young and hip, yeah. So you like digital technology. And again, don't forget to use us if you really need to get those marks, because it can be quite competitive for some of the degrees, for example, physiotherapy. Another thing we don't want to do is binge learn. So you know how we cram, we study for our test the night before. That works really well for some people, but what happens a few days later, it just all empties out, okay, and doesn't stay. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to retain that information because you'll need it later on for your exams. You're in high school, just need to remember the definition of something, and that's it. Well, here we want you to be able to apply or explain how you can use something that you've learned. Right? So that's the difference. We're not just memorizing stuff. We're explaining what something is, and then we're saying how it could be used in a situation as well. So that's a really big difference. Another thing we want to do is have breaks. So some of you, like me, maybe don't have like really good concentration skills when it comes to studying. We're thinking about planning our weekend. So what we recommend is using things called the Pomodoro technique. So it's 20 minutes study and a 10-minute break. But during that 10 minutes, you don't want to be on Instagram. You want to be doing something like exercise, washing dishes, or cleaning your room. You don't want to be talking to people because what's happening is the brain is busy sorting everything out. Okay, so if you're talking to someone, then that's extra cognitive energy or cognitive pleasure used to do something else. You also need to put yourself first before studying. So this means looking after your mental health and making sure you're enjoying living in Australia as well. If you do too much, you're not going to enjoy it. And get plenty of sleep. Now, I know you guys are all young, you're all like night owls, yeah, like to stay up late and maybe play Minecraft or something or YouTube, but sleep is super important because that is when those the new memories are laid down as well. We also have Facebook groups. So you can click on the QR code and you can join one of our Facebook groups. You can ask a question there and we can answer it. It was run by a PAL mentor, Holly, but she needs to take a break this trimester, so Holly's running it. But it's just another way to meet people and to socialize. I'll also put this link on the student portal.
Everyone got the link?
It will go up in the student portal this week as well, and it'll be emailed to you as a PDF. All right, so next we're going to talk about academic integrity, and we have our other student advisor, Noni.
Hi everyone, we're excited to learn and we're going to be doing it with integrity. What does that mean? It means that we're not cheating. Okay, you are here to learn, you are here to get those skills that you need to then get the job. A person who is wanting to employ you doesn't want to employ you if you've gone through your degree or gone through your diploma and you haven't actually done the work, you haven't learned the skills. So this is why academic integrity is so important, to ensure that the actual value of your diploma or your degree is translated to the workplace. Okay, so that's why you should care. It basically means that you are putting the effort into your studies and into your assessments, and everyone's on a fair level playing field. Okay, you are the one who is putting in the work, you are the one who are getting the marks. So academic integrity, we need to make sure that the students and all students have a fair opportunity to apply themselves to get the marks that they need for the effort they put in. No student is going to have an unfair advantage over other students, and that you get the respect in the community from your qualification. And ultimately, why are you here? That is the ultimate question. Why are you here? You are here to prepare yourself for either continued studies or for the workplace. So in these next two slides, we're going to go through two examples of academic misconduct. So misconduct means that they've been pulled up for the cheating or the plagiarism or outsourcing their information. So plagiarism. Plagiarism is when you go into Google Scholar, you find your source, you copy your source, and you paste it as your idea. Okay, this is called plagiarism, when you are representing someone else's idea as your own. How do we don't plagiarize? How do we use that information that we get from the source and include it as an argument in our essay? And that's got to do with referencing. Okay, we always acknowledge the source of which we attain the information from, and we put it in our own words. Does anyone know what we call putting something in from someone else's idea and then putting it into our own words? Does anyone know what word we use to describe that?
Paraphrase.
It is, that's exactly right. Paraphrasing, okay? Paraphrasing is a fundamental skill that you're going to have to attain through your studies. Now the next one, collusion. Oh, I can see some secret. It's been passed on. Collusion. Sitting next to your friend. You both did the quiz together. That is collusion. All right. Exchanging information and using another student's work or ideas to create and submit work as your own is secret cooperation or collusion. Now, the last one is contract cheating. You pay your friend or you ask your friend to create the work and then submit it for you. Now, this might be actually online, a person that you've never met before, okay? You will get pulled up for it and you will get, I guess, a punishment for that misconduct. Fabrication. Oh, I'm sick. In reality, I was out late partying too much, or I worked too much and I didn't have time. I didn't put time aside to do my assessment. That means that you need a medical certificate or you need some sort of valid reason to get special consideration or an extension. And so you just make up a MC. Fabrication, making things up and using it as evidence to support extensions or submitting work that is not your own as well, okay? And lastly, cheating. Not so often do we see this anymore because we don't really have too many face-to-face exams where I used to see students write their notes on a little eraser or have hidden words in their calculators, although something that is cheating. When you bring material that is unauthorized into a setting that assists you in that assessment. Okay, so you will get pulled up for it if you get it. Some of the punishments for that would be 0 for the assessment, could be 0 for your subject, or in extreme circumstances, you could be kicked out of your diploma. Okay, so there are serious consequences for doing this mixed conduct. Obviously, this is full on. So how do we learn about these things? We have an academic integrity module that every single one of you are going to do this week. Okay, and this academic integrity module will guide you through each of those processes so you know and you understand what plagiarism is, what collusion, what fabrication is, what those things are. It will take about an hour to complete, and it again is found in your Moodle site on your hub. When you click in, you'll see it flag up for you. So as I said, we're all going to do it this week, yes, okay, because it is a central component of your studies to complete this. All right. All right, any questions about the academic integrity module? No? Yeah, go for it.
There should be a slide on this also, but it'll be on the student portal. We've got some workshops tomorrow as well, and one of them will be the academic integrity module.
Oh, perfect.
So if you don't want to do it by yourself, come join the workshop in the morning. Make sure you've got the academic integrity module up, and then we're going to go through it together, do the quizzes. We'll do all the quizzes together. Done. All right. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, policies and certain things. Go, oh, I'm sick. I'm legitimately sick this time. I wasn't out partying. I've got a medical certificate. How do I apply for special considerations? What about learning about how to transfer courses? What about learning about how to get into the university studies? This is all the student policies, and it can be found. Again, this is going to be your little go-to area. In the student services and in that drop-down list, you can see that it has policies and procedures. All this information is found here. We are resourceful. You go and look for the information before you go and ask people, okay? This is part of the learning experience as a lifelong learner, is to look for resources before going to the easy access teachers, okay? Questions about attendance. Now, if you are a foundation student, you are required to attend at least 80% of your classes. That is a requirement to your studies. However, attendance for diploma students is not compulsory, but if you don't rock up to class, how are you going to learn the material? All right, there is a clear link between the attendance of students and their marks that they achieve. All right, think of your classes as forced study sessions. You guys are paying great money to be here to learn. Put that investment in yourself during your class time. All right, it's only 12 weeks, guys. Prioritize your studies, attending your class, because you want to do well. Set yourself up to do well. Okay, we are all adults. Or almost going to be adults in the legal manner. So we need to behave like adults, having respect for everyone in class, respecting people's ideas, they might be different to yours, respecting other people's cultures, they might be showing different opinions to you, and treating everyone equally as we would like to be treated. This includes online as well as face-to-face classes. And the expectations for this will be that you attend class and submit your work on time, treating everyone as equals and respecting others' opinions and views. That's all. Thanks, guys. I look forward to interacting with each of you. Again, I'm the go-to for science, so all your HBA, all your human biosciences, your anatomy, your ecology, psychology, maths, stats. Come and see me if you have any questions or you want to excel in those areas. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. The student councillor.
Thank you so much. I will bring up one slide as well, so just like that.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, no worries. So how are you guys? Yeah, yeah, really good. I see a lot of tired eyes going on here. I know a lot of you guys, waking up at 6, 7 o'clock just for this, orientation. I know it's very hard, and you've been sitting here for how long? 2 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, sometime. So before I get into my sessions, I'd like to introduce some exercise, or not exercise, movement. So please get off of your phone or computer, whatever device that you're using. Just stretch yourself. You can stand up if you want. Stretch yourself. Move around your neck. Yeah, if you guys can do it, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just stretch yourself. You can yawn, you can do whatever, just to lose yourself a bit. Yeah, see, I know a lot of people, they are, quite strict in this area. You're being, yeah, see, yeah. Do you feel good? Yeah, do you feel good afterwards? Yeah. Okay, that's good. Well, that's why I'm here. As a student counselor, I know that a lot of students, they are actually, under a lot of pressure doing, assignments, doing homework. They're under a lot of pressure because of, the family issues, relationship issues, all that type of stuff. And then you feel like on top of that, you're still doing work and you're doing study. It's a lot on you. And for a lot of people, you're still very young and you're, still getting used to the adulthood life. So you guys do not actually cope with those stress and pressure that well. And then that's why I'm here to provide all the student counseling service for you so that you can take care of yourself, which is very important. If you do not take care of yourself, physically or mentally, you will fail in the end, whether it's for work, whether it's for academic stuff and everything, okay? So please do take some time to take care of yourself. It's very important. Now, before I go a little bit more further, let me just introduce myself with my highly not photoshopped picture, as you can see. My name is Alston. I'm the student counselor at Latrobe College, Australia, which is here. I have the qualification of Master of Social Work, and I have the background of working with young people, forensic people, voluntary clients, all that sort of stuff. So if you have any questions, whether it's personal, issues, mental health and well-being issues, as well as relationship-related issues, I know it's quite common for your, age and cohort. So please do not hesitate and feel free to make appointment with me. You can make appointment with me via this link, studentcounseling.youcanbook.me. And then you can select, a time slot and then the date that suits you the best. And we can just do it. It's a one-on-one and confidential counseling session, so you do not need to worry about confidentiality, privacy, and all that things. I will talk a little bit more about that later. And we have options to do face-to-face. My office is located on level 3, so we can do it there, or we can do it via Zoom. So if sometimes I know students, they're studying online, they do not have time to actually travel to campus, we can do it via Zoom. Okay, so we have 2 options, which is good. Now, what does student counseling do? So it's a very complicated topic, but to simplify it is to taking care of students, which is you guys, mental health and well-being. Like I said, if you feel distressed, if you feel unwell, physically and mentally, if you feel like you're depressed, anxious about your study, your life in general, you can always go and talk to me. And also we will see, we will see, how much of a need that you're in, and we can refer the student to various internal and external services according to your situation and needs. Okay. So what we can talk about, there's a lot of things we can talk about, basically anything. Like I said, the student counseling sessions is about 45 to 1 hour each session, and it's confidential and free of charge. So you do not need to worry about the money. You guys do not need to pay me. These guys, Dom and Andrew, they pay. So they take care of that. You can talk about, personal issues, family issues, academic related stress, as well as mental health issues. So basically anything that you can think of that makes you feel like, makes you feel unwell, you can go and talk to me about it. So we can look at some of the common signs, because when you are actually quite devoted to, the work or the study that you're doing, you sometimes lose yourself. You don't actually realize, you're actually in a very, negative or not very good, mental health state. So if you feel like, you lack interest and motivation, whether it's for work, whether it's for study, or, basically anything, if you feel like you are not enjoying things that you used to enjoy. So for example, I know a few students that saw me, they used to enjoy, drawing, they used to enjoy, activities, exercise. However, all of a sudden, they do not enjoy all those things at all. They just want to, stay in bed. They don't want to go out. They don't want to, get out of bed or study. That's some signs that you feel that that's a sign that's actually, telling yourself that, okay, you probably need to see what's going on. Okay. And then you feel like you're feeling sad for no reason for more than 2 weeks. You're constantly having a low mood. That's also a sign of, probably something's going on in your mind. And there are significant mood swing, which means that at one time you're very happy, you're very, motivated, you feel like you can conquer the world. And then the next second, you feel like you're having the lowest of a low. You feel like you cannot, accomplish anything. You're useless, worthless, all that sort of stuff. This is actually a common sign as well. That means that, you probably need to have someone to talk to see what's going on. And then you feel like you lack of confidence. I know a lot of students, especially international students coming here, they are adjusting to a new environment. They don't know what they're doing. And then they feel like, they are not, performing as well as they wanted. The lack of confidence sometimes can be, quite overwhelming. So I would suggest you to, make an appointment with me to see what's going on. Okay. If you have sleeping or eating issues, if you sleep too much, if you sleep, very little or not sleep at all, if you feel like, you're eating quite, little, that's something that you need to watch out for. And then the last one would be suicidal thoughts, which means that you have thoughts of harming yourself or killing yourself. That's serious issues, and then you need to make an appointment with me as soon as possible. If you feel like you cannot control the thoughts, I would suggest you to call 000 and then call yourself an ambulance so that you can get proper care. Okay, that's for suicidal thoughts. Now, in terms of services that we can provide here, there's actually quite a range of services that we can, provide. First of all, we can provide follow-up and all regular appointments. If you see me once and you feel like, it's actually working pretty well, you want to make it regular, you can talk to me and then we can figure out what time or date is best suitable for you, and then we can make it fixed for you. Okay. And then if you feel like a lot of the stress coming from the academic side of things, and then you feel like you don't know how to actually write, academic essays, or you have troubles learning in general, and then you have mental health related issues because of the pressure of coming from the academic side of things, then I would suggest you to be linked with the learning advisor, Jason and Noni, that just talk to you. And then I will probably also, obviously, if you agree, I will link you with academic coordinator to see if there's any way that we can facilitate you to better, support you in regards to the academic side of things. We can refer you to the activities and clubs that's offered within La Trobe College and as well as La Trobe University. Because often notice that a lot of people coming here without knowing a lot of support or friends here sometimes feel very lonely. They don't know what to do. They tend to just stay at home, which is not very suitable, which is not very good for your mental health in general. So I would suggest you to, participate in activities or clubs that you're interested in. and then to explore some, other, let's say, other side of the social life. And if we feel like, if during this counseling sessions, we feel like, the mental health side of things is getting a little bit too serious, then I would suggest you to go to see a GP and then to get a mental health care plan. Has any of you guys have any idea or heard of a mental health care plan? Yeah? I hear you not. Can any of you guys, explain what a mental health care plan is? Exactly. Very good. So a mental health care plan is that, for example, you went to see a GP and then you tell them that you're feeling constantly low or sad for more than 2 weeks, and then you have no motivations to do anything, and you feel like you're quite depressed for a long time. That's when the GP will probably do a, let's say, a K10 form, which is mental health assessment form, to see what level you are on, how depressed, or what's your mental health state situation is at. And if they feel like it's quite at a higher spectrum, then they will fill out the mental health care plan for you, and then you will get the chance to actually talk to a qualified psychologist or mental health social worker, so that they can actually do some formal treatment. Okay, that's mental health care plan. I know some of the students, they worry about the fee. For domestic students, I understand that if you have Medicare, then you have free access to mental health care plan up to 8 to 10 sessions per annual year. Now, for international students, I would suggest you to talk with your insurance company beforehand to see how much percentage that they can cover, right? Yeah. So the other thing, last but not least, if you disclose to me, or if during the counseling sessions we figured out that there are all the factors that come into play in your mental health. For example, drug and alcohol issues, family violence, child protection issues, all that sort of thing, then I will probably refer you to community services for different issues. So for example, if you have drug and alcohol issues, then we refer you to drug and alcohol community center. If we feel like you have family violence issues, then we will refer you to family violence organizations so that you can get proper care from the specialized organization. Okay? Do we have any questions so far? All quite straightforward, huh? Good. Now, about confidentiality. Does anybody know what confidentiality is? Sorry? Are there some noises?
Privacy.
Sorry?
Privacy.
Exactly. So confidentiality means privacy. I know a lot of people, worry about, oh, if I tell you this or that, are you, gonna turn on me? Are you gonna tell other people? Are you gonna tell my teacher, my case coordinator, my parents? General answer is no. What we have discussed during the counseling sessions will just keep between you and me, unless there's always unless you disclose information that's harmful to yourself, others, or children. Meaning that if you tell me that you're gonna kill yourself, I'm not gonna just let you walk away. I am gonna make sure that you're safe. So if you tell me that you have constant suicidal ideation and then you have plan to actually commit it, then I will have a whole different types of safety planning with you. If it's too severe, I will call ambulance on your behalf so that you can get care. And so that's one. So that's one condition to breach the confidentiality. The second thing is that if you tell me during the counseling sessions that I hate my neighbors, I'm going to kill them, then that's a different story. I will probably, if we figure out that the threat is actually sincere, it's actually you're actually thinking about it, and then you actually have a plan to do it, then I will probably do some actions. For example, report it to the police so that other people will not get hurt. And then in regards to children, if you feel like the people that's living with you that's under 16 most of the time, under 16, and you feel like they are being mistreated, you're feeling like they are being hurt, or not taken good care of, you can talk to me, and then we can access the information, and then to see if we need to brought brought this situation to up level, for example, like, child protection or things like that, okay? So those are three things that we might need to break the confidentiality. Other than that, it's just between you and me. If we feel like, you benefited from, getting involved with academic coordinator or, the learning advisor, I will let you know. And then if you agree, then I will let them know. And then obviously I will tell them, just a brief story, and then I will run it to you first. And then you say yes, then I can tell you, the learning advisor or the academic coordinator. Okay. If without your consent, I cannot say a word. Okay. So don't worry about that too much. Now, I think I've covered all that. High-risk students, if you notice someone, the classmates having those kind of like high risk, is identified as high risk, then it's probably best for you to note it to your teacher. Or if you feel like you're having those thoughts, then I think it's best to make a point with me so that we can further investigate. So the first thing is that you have constant suicidal ideation, constant, current, and active suicidal ideation. If it's current attempt, code 000, there are a few, and if you feel like, you don't want to talk to me, you want to talk to a person that is, that you do not know of, then you can call lifeline number, that is 131114. That's 24/7 services. You can call them every, basically anytime. So that's quite convenient. The other one is called Beyond Blue. You can just Google it. Beyond Blue number, that is also a 24/7 hotline for mental health in general, depression, anxiety, and suicide thoughts. Okay. The second one is violence or abuse. If you experience family violence, sexual assault, physical, verbal, or financial abuse, you can make an appointment with me so we can further, investigate. If we feel like it's a severe case, then we will refer you to some family violence specialized organization, for example, Orange Door, that is 100-319-355, or you can call 100 with that directly to report your experience, so that the specialist will get involved and investigate the situation. Okay, and then if you suspect children under 16 are at risk, for example, like I said, if you feel like they are abused, they are, mistreated, or if you feel like they are not being taken good care of, they are, being hurt physically and mentally, you can raise it to me, or the best way is to, because you are the first person who witnessed it, you will probably to report it to, the organizations. Okay, so the child protection, they are actually divided into different intake division. So here at Mandurah is North Division intake is 100-664-977. And then if it's after hour, if you report this after hour, then it's 131278. Okay. So if you can, take a screenshot or take a photo of it just in case if you need it. And if you don't, then we can just move on. Yeah. So how does the student counseling process go? So first, if you identify issue or concern for you, then you can make an appointment with me via the student counseling, or you can book.me. And then, like I said, choose a free time or slots that you feel suitable for you, and then we can do the free and confidential counseling sessions. And then step 4 is to follow up to you to see how you're doing. And then if you feel like you need to, if we feel like you need to be referred to a internal organizations, then we will do the referral. Okay. Now, as much as I want to help you guys all along, and I want to do everything for you guys, there are things we have limitations. We cannot do things, we cannot do, all the things for you. So there are things that the student counseling cannot provide, or we are not those services. For example, first, we are not a mandatory service, which means that no one can force you to go to see me. No one can force you to participate in the student counseling sessions. We always encourage you to do so, but in the end, it's your choice. If you decide not to see me, that's fine. But I would highly suggest you to do so if you feel like, if you identify some issues within yourself, you feel like, you're not having fun, you're not, performing well or things like that, I would suggest you to see me, but it's not mandatory. Second thing is that we are not an emergency service, which means that if you see yourself, or other people covered in blood in, in this building, I don't want you to think, who do I talk to? I need to call Alston for that. No, you need to call an ambulance. You need to call 000 for that. We are not an emergency services. The third thing is that we are not a legal, financial, or visa service, which means that I understand that, visa for international students, financial things, and then legal things in general for you students are very overwhelming, and then you can get a lot of pressure out of it. However, by law, we cannot provide any information regarding your legal process, your financial situation, as well as your visa service. Do we have compliance? Yeah. Unfortunately, we cannot provide any of the information for that. But we can provide some information about what organizations that you can contact. For example, if you have legal service or visa service, I will always suggest students to see, Study Melbourne, because they will provide they have the funding and the resources to actually provide legitimate and legit legal and visa suggestions depending on your situation. Okay. And then fourthly and finally, we are not a treatment service. As long as I want to, treat you, cure you or anything, we are not a treatment service, which means that if you feel like, your situation is quite severe and you need proper care, we will refer you to a specialized organization and healthcare services, not each year. Okay. So those are the things that we cannot provide, unfortunately. Now, that's pretty much it from my end. Do we have any questions so far? No? All good? Well, I hope you guys keep it that way for the whole semester. But if you don't, please feel free to contact me and make an appointment with me. Okay? Now, I understand that a lot of students, they are actually on a package thing, right? No, I'm not across that. So if you are actually on a package, so for example, if you finish your diploma foundation or English course here, and then you will go to La Trobe Uni the next year or next 2 years when your foundation or diploma finished, then the La Trobe University also have counseling services. So they are supposed to be here today to introduce their service to you guys. However, they are quite busy, so they asked me to introduce the counseling service for you. Okay. So the health, well-being, and inclusion are available to all LTC students, which is you guys. They can access the counseling service through our Health and Wellbeing Center, which is located on Parabola East Building on the ground floor. Alternatively, you can access our counseling service through latrobe.edu.au/counseling sessions, and then /counseling, and fill out the intake form, and then they will get back to you and get in touch with you afterwards. The following video will detail more information about the counseling service and what you might see a counselor. Okay, so I will play a video for you.
There we go.
Hi there, my name is Kiara Dargan and I'm one of the counsellors at the Bundoora campus and I work at the Student Counselling Service. I'm here today to talk about the counselling service and just to get a bit of an understanding of what we offer. So what is mental health? Mental health is a terminology that we often talk about, but a lot of us have different understandings of what it actually means. So mental health actually sits on a continuum, and any of us can fall on this continuum at different times in our lives. So on one end of the spectrum, we have mental wellness or being mentally healthy. And this is when we're able to engage in work and study, be connected with other people, be active in our community, and be able to bounce back when life becomes challenging. On the other end of the spectrum is what we think about when we often think about mental health, which is mental illness. So a mental illness can be temporary, it can be situational, it can be more long-term, and it can sometimes be biological as well. These conditions can significantly impact how a person thinks, how they feel, how they behave, and how they interact with other people. It's often believed that over half of the population will experience symptoms of a mental illness at some point in their lives. So when we look at the mental health of university students, there was a really large study done in 2020 in the UK that was done across 140 universities and found that 1 in 4 students reported a mental health diagnosis. The most common mental health diagnoses across university students was depressive disorders and anxiety disorders. That was 12% for depressive disorders and 11.2% for anxiety disorders. What also was quite common amongst university students was substance use, with 2% of students saying that they always used drugs or alcohol to cope with their problems, and 8% of students were always using drugs or alcohol to get to sleep. So more than 2/5 of students experienced serious personal, emotional, behavioural or mental health problems for which they needed professional support from. This is an increase of just over 8% in only 1 year. So this study is done each year, and that's been an increase of 8% from the 2019 report. So more than 3/4 of students reported concealing their symptoms from those around them from fear of stigmatization. Again, this is a 3% increase from the 2019 report. And over half of students reported having thoughts of suicide and self-harm. So it's incredibly common and incredibly prevalent. So what makes university students at higher risk of experiencing mental health issues than the general public? Origin Youth Health here in Australia released a report in 2017, which was called Under the Radar. And they looked at specific factors which can negatively impact on a young person's mental health. Academic pressures are obviously the biggest one, and they are really evident in disciplines, that have higher entry grades and expectations. So what we see is these tend to be law students, medical students, students that are that part of their studies is completing placements. In particular, for independent living students and students from low socioeconomic backgrounds, we see financial pressures as well, and that also can contribute to poor mental health. International and regional students are also at high risk, and this is due to disconnection from their family, from their religion, from their culture. As mentioned in the previous slide, a number of students are misusing substances, and this can contribute to poor mental health as well. There's a bit of a stereotype here. Poor diet is one of those as well, and lack of sleep. But you've got the stereotype of the cramming student that's not sleeping, buzzing on caffeine. This as well, it's a bit of a revolving door, contributes to poor mental health as well. And over to the left of the slide, we have some of the groups of students that are at high risk of experiencing mental health issues as well. So common issues for university students. Again, the study that was done on uni students, a lot of the things from this slide I've taken from here. In addition to anxiety disorders and depressive disorders, 38% of students reported experiencing episodes of panic. So panic attacks were quite common as well. And there were also increasing themes of loneliness and self-harm, and substance use was also in there as well. The study also found that there were significantly higher levels of loneliness for second and third year students as well. Now, this information here that was done in the UK actually complements the research here in Australia. So there was a study done by Monash and Harvard researchers in 2020, which surveyed 1,100 students across the US and Australia 3 times over the course of the year, and also found rising rates of substance use and suicidality compared to previous years. Australian students displayed similar presentations to those in the UK, with 30% reporting an anxiety or a depressive disorder. 26% of students reported experiencing trauma or stress-related disorders, and 13% of Australian students reported reported increased substance use to cope with their stress or emotions. So what does the counselling service do at La Trobe? So we work with students that sit along that spectrum. So we work with students who are experiencing mild stress and procrastination, difficulty with motivation, right up to individuals who have a mental health diagnosis of generalized anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, borderline personality disorder, and ADHD. So what we do is we help students to develop coping skills to effectively manage their symptoms through lifestyle changes, cognitive and behavioural techniques as well, acceptance and mindfulness-based approaches to essentially help students live a rich and meaningful life and engage in their studies as much as they'd like to. What we can also do is we assist students in getting learning access plans to support their academics, as well as helping them with special consideration. So students are allocated a certain number of sessions per calendar year, and students don't need to use all of these sessions. The counselling service, it's completely confidential. So supervisors, clinical educators, tutors, lecturers, nobody is informed that you are attending the counselling service. So nobody inside the uni, nobody outside of the university needs to be made aware that you're accessing counselling. We don't share any information with anybody. Unless, of course, there is one condition to that, unless the student is at immediate risk of harm to themselves or to others, or we've been subpoenaed in court. So in addition to individual counselling, we also offer specialist programs as well. So that includes the queer programs, that's Queer Chat. And we also have other groups that are tailored to students' needs, such as procrastination workshops and anxiety workshops as well. What we also do is we also offer secondary consultations with staff, as well as mental health basic sessions for both students and staff. We can also assist students with referrals to external agencies, so places outside of the university where it's appropriate. Please bear in mind as well that during COVID-19 related restrictions, that all of the counselling services will be offered via telephone or via video only. So in the event that you're open to counselling, but you don't want to see a university counsellor, or you have utilised all of the sessions available to you at the university, or there is an active wait list, and you're not in a position to be able to wait for counselling either, these are some external options that you can access. So in person, the first point of call is your GP. And what a GP can provide you with is a mental health treatment plan. And what that does is it provides individuals with up to 20 sessions, 20 subsidised sessions with a psychologist or social worker per calendar year. All of the universities have psychology clinics, and these are staffed by provisionally registered psychologists. So these are psychologists, or these are provisional psychologists that are completing their masters or their doctorates in psychology, and they are supervised by fully registered psychologists. These services are quite cheap, and students can access this for a fee. It depends on the university, but it can be anywhere from $15 to $15 to $30 per session. Headspace as well also offers free counselling services to individuals aged between 12 and 25 years. This also does require a referral from your GP. Another option as well is to contact your local community health centre to see if they have any low-cost counselling options as well. In an online platform, eHeadspace provides free web chat and telephone support for young people aged 12 to 25, and this can be accessed each day from 9 AM to 1 AM. Mental Health Online offers a range of free self-help programs for depression, anxiety, PTSD, OCD, social anxiety, and panic disorder. And they also offer low-cost therapist-assisted programs. So you can go through the program on yourself, by yourself, unassisted, or you can pay for the support of an online therapist to guide you through the program and to be there for emotional support whilst you're going through it. MindSpot also offers free telephone and online services, plus therapist-guided treatment courses, just like Mental Health Online. And Reach Out also has some free mobile apps that deliver evidence-based therapies that assist young people to self-manage their stress and their anxiety. So if you're interested in contacting the counselling service, there's a number of ways that you can get in touch with us. This can be through the Health and Wellbeing Resource Centre. You can submit an inquiry through the LTU website. You can also email us, or you can also give us a call directly. If you do it online, you'll be able to submit an online booking request, and the inquiry form will ask you to enter some personal details so that we can register you with our service. This information is also kept confidential. Once you have registered or inquired with the counselling service, you will be screened. So what this is a 10 to 15 minute phone call. So one of our duty workers will give you a call and conduct a bit of a brief assessment. If there are no COVID-19 restrictions in place, triage or screening can also be completed in person if you would like. During busy periods, as I mentioned, there can be a wait list. So we do recommend that for students, if you do fall into that higher risk category, as I mentioned earlier on, or if you've previously struggled with mental health issues, connecting with the counselling service is a good idea as a preventative measure. So at the point of triage, we will ask you directly about risk and safety. This is essentially to ensure that students that are at immediate risk, whether that be physical risk or whether that be academic risk, it means that we're able to see those students sooner rather than later. So if you are experiencing any risk, please don't keep this a secret, as it will put us in a better position to assist you quickly. When it comes to supporting documentation, as per our website, the counselling service can only provide supporting documentation if you are a current student of the counselling service and have accessed the counselling service in the last 6 months. So an appointment is required for a counsellor to produce any supporting documentation, as we need to be able to understand your current situation and comment on the impacts that this is having on your mental health. Finally, there is the LTU crisis line, which is available to you. And this information is here on the counselling website as well. You can call or you can send them through text messages. So this operates outside of business hours. So anytime that are outside Monday to Friday, 9 AM to 5 PM, you are able to contact the crisis line. I do want to mention as well that on the counselling website, on the La Trobe website, we also do have emergency numbers for psychiatric triage. We also have other crisis lines, family violence lines, sexual assault, as well as queer support lines as well. So if you are wanting any further information, please feel free to go onto the counselling website. Thanks very much and all the best with your studies.
Okay, so now we've got Joe from the university. That's okay, Joe. No.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. How are you feeling? Good. How are you feeling? Good. Oh gosh, it's cold out there, isn't it? Everyone's feeling a bit cold and quiet. Welcome to La Trobe. My name's Joanna Shaw. I work for the advising area of the university. So I'm here to talk to you about how your course here at La Trobe College fits into the broader university and how we can support you while you're doing your studies and when you transition over to your main degree at the university. So the first thing I wanted to do was just give you a very warm welcome. I'm sure you've had an acknowledgement of country already today, but it's very important to us here at La Trobe. I wanted to acknowledge that today we are here on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and any Indigenous participants who are here with us today. In many formal events at La Trobe, you will hear an acknowledgement of country. I'm a non-Indigenous person, so I'm acknowledging country. If it's an Indigenous person, that they will welcome you to country. So you will see that quite often in different activities here at the university, but also in Australia in general. Just do the maths. Okay. Oh, maybe not. So I wanted to take a moment just to explain why we're called La Trobe, because often, particularly international students might ask us, are you French? Why are you named after a French person? Well, Charles La Trobe was actually the first Lieutenant Governor of the province or the district of Melbourne, of Victoria. And he, in the very early days, was passionate about developing the community and wanted education to be at the front of everything they did for that first early settlement in Victoria. He was passionate about communities helping themselves and about everybody having access to education. So we're very proud to take our name from Charles La Trobe. There are actually a couple of different statues around the university, and I encourage you to find the one over on the way to the tram stop. It's actually an upside down Charles La Trobe, and at some point I'm going to ask you why you think that statue is upside down. So La Trobe University, you're here at our largest campus in Bundoora, but we actually have 7 campuses across the state. We have a campus in Melbourne CBD on Collins Street. That's our postgraduate business school, but also some health sciences are taught there. We have the Bendigo campus, about 2 hours north of the city. We have a campus in Mildura, Shepparton and Albury-Wodonga, and we also have a campus in Sydney. So we are the largest provider of higher education in regional Victoria. This campus in Bundoora is actually the largest physical campus in the Southern Hemisphere. You probably got lost coming to find the building already, did you? Yeah, a few nods. We have our own bus that goes around the campus to help you find your way. But it's also a really beautiful campus. I encourage you to explore all the different corners. We have a wildlife sanctuary, we have 2 sports centres, we have over 600 rooms of accommodation on campus. It's really beautiful. So you're very welcome to explore the campus. There you go, that's the picture from the air. So I'm sure you're familiar with who we are as a university, but La Trobe is very proud to be the 3rd university in the state of Victoria. We were founded behind Monash and Melbourne University, but we're also in the top 250 globally, the top 50 in Asia Pacific. One we're particularly proud of is the #1 university for gender equality as ranked by the Sustainable Development Goals. So just a few little snapshots about who we are. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about student life. As a student of La Trobe College Australia, you have the best of both worlds. You have access to all of the services and supports from the fabulous team at La Trobe College. You can also access the La Trobe University services as well. So you get to double dip in everything. So with La Trobe University, so your first port of call in the university is Ask La Trobe in the library, but you've actually got your own student support services here on level 3. But as now. Oh, level 5, sorry. Level 5. You've moved. Okay. And when you move over into the university for your degree course, you'll have access to Ask La Trobe. The library here in the Agora, you've got a library here? Not anymore. Not anymore. Oh, there you go. I've been out of the loop for a little while. Yeah. So the library over in the Agora is a fantastic resource. It has a talking and eating floor on the ground floor, then it has a talking floor, and then it has a quiet floor. So you can choose where you sit. You don't have to be worried that you're sitting there talking and people are going shh, shh, shh. If you're on the talking floor, you're fine to talk. And anybody that's on that floor that doesn't like you talking, they can move to the quiet floor. So it's actually really nice that you've got those different options. During exam time, which is the university timetable, the library's actually open 24 hours a day. So you can come and study if that's your thing at 3 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night. The advantage of that is in summer here, it's super hot, the library is air conditioned, and in winter when it's freezing, it's heated. So lots of good tips there. But the library also has lots of free workshops, lots of online resources, lots of peer learning advisors and support staff. So make sure you use all of those. Lots of clubs and societies that you can join. So go online and have a look. There's things to do with music, theatre, sport, culture, language, books, literature, special interests, whatever your thing. We've got a Dumbledore's Army on campus. We've got squash club and tennis and football and cricket. We've got choirs and music societies, lots of different things. So as a La Trobe College Australia student, you are able to join the La Trobe University clubs and societies. Is anybody here living on campus? Anybody staying in the halls of residence over there? So great. So other people might want to live on campus as well. The advantage of living on campus is that you can just roll out of bed and come straight to class with 5 minutes to spare, but it is an option if that's something that is of interest to you. We've got 2 sports centres here at La Trobe, fantastic sports facilities. You don't have to be a formal member of a team to use the sports centre. You can use it casually, go for a swim, use the gym, rent a squash court, badminton, tennis court, whatever you like, or you can join as a member and use it unlimited. So if that's of interest, have a walk over and talk to the sports centre. But then we also have lots of wellbeing services for you as a student. If you'd like to talk to someone in a counselling setting, we know that's not something that many people feel comfortable with, but I always say to students, use it while you're at university because it's free. So there's lots of really great support services there and lots of smaller groups, groups for women, groups for men, groups for the LGBTIQA+ community. There's study sessions and mental health sessions, stress relief sessions, whatever you like, individual or group. When you finished your course, I know this is at the very beginning of your course now, but just to highlight that when you finish your studies here, your foundation and diploma of this group, Jodie, this is foundation and diploma, okay, great. When you finish your foundation or diploma, you'll come over to your main degree at the university, whether that's a bachelor or a master's degree, and we'll give you another orientation. So we'll do this all over again, so you don't have to remember it all. But my team will look after you in transitioning to your degree. So we'll go through your course, your study plan, when the exams will be, what you can expect, how many contact hours, is your class online, is it face-to-face? We'll do all of that with you when you finish your foundation and diploma. So for now, all you need to do is focus on this piece of study and know that when you finish, we'll come in and talk to you again about the next steps.
That's it for you.
So that's it from me. Did you have any questions or comments? University is yours. Make yourself at home. You're very welcome. If you've got any questions at all, speak to your team here on level 5, but also you can come over to the library and speak to my team and ask La Trobe over in the library. So you're very welcome. Any questions or comments? If something comes up, feel free to talk to Jodie and the rest of the team. I can't wait to see you on campus, say hello, but also I look forward to welcoming you when you finish your foundation or diploma and you come over to do your degree. We're here to help you with the next steps as well. Great.
Thank you, Jo.
Okay, have a nice day. See you.
Thanks, Jo.
and stay fire safe. So during the summer here, it can be very dry and there is high risk of fire. So this is the fire safe indication. So you can see this danger rating and then see it's code red. So you can be familiar with this map here and then know what's the fire safety here.
Hi, my name is Danny and I'm a firefighter. Regardless of what type of accommodation you live in during your stay, it's Victorian law that all accommodation is fitted with smoke alarms. This is a smoke alarm. Now let's go inside and take a look to see how it works. Smoke alarms are attached to the ceiling just outside the bedroom, well away from the wall. And sometimes they may be in the bedroom as well. If the smoke alarm detects smoke from a fire, it makes this noise. If the smoke alarm sounds, get down low and out of the smoke. Evacuate via the safest exit. If it's safe, close the door to the room where the smoke or fire is coming from. Now you need to get out and alert others on your way out. Call 000, ask for fire, wait to be connected and tell them your address. Smoke alarms give you early warning of a fire and time to escape. Make sure you test your smoke alarms in your home once a month. Use a broom handle to press the test button. Wait to hear and then release. If you don't have a smoke alarm or your smoke alarm doesn't work, contact your education provider representative.
Hi, my name's Peter Williams. I work for Victoria Police. Today I'm here to provide you with some valuable information about how to be safe and how to contact police for emergency assistance. Protective Service Officers are armed uniform officers who have the power to apprehend, arrest and search and find people. PSOs have similar powers to police, but they're only allowed to use them in designated places, such as train stations and public transport hubs. So if you require assistance in any of these places, please look out for the Protective Service Officers. If you need to contact police, you call 000 and ask the operator for police. If needed, you can ask for an interpreter. The 000 is the number for emergency services, including police, fire and ambulance. Tell the 000 operator your name and phone number, where the police or emergency services are needed and what has happened. Be patient and explain all of the details. Police may need to call you back to gather more information as they travel to this. You need to understand it doesn't cost any money for this community service. If you're a victim of crime, your student visa is not affected. Police help is available 24 hours a day. You find your local police station through Google or through www.police.vic.gov.au. If you need an interpreter, they can be provided. All Victoria Police carry identification badges. Most, but not all police wear uniforms. So if you're unsure, please ask to see identification. Victoria is a safe state, but it's your responsibility to take care and to reduce your chances of being a victim of crime. 80% of all crime is opportunistic, so don't leave your valuables, like your purse, laptops, phones, unattended at any time. A safety plan means that you have thought about your personal safety in your own circumstances, being aware of possible unsafe situations and how you may react. Safety is if your safety is ever compromised. This can be empowering. What would I do in an emergency situation? Who would I call? By following these simple tips, you'll feel more confident about moving about in the community. Be assertive when you walk. walk with confidence and be aware of your surroundings. Time your outing to coincide with busy pedestrian times and plan your route and cross the road at traffic lights. Keep your valuables out of sight. As an added layer of security, you may consider investing in a personal alarm. When walking around at night, if possible, walk in groups and in well-lit populated areas. If making arrangements to collect or sell property, arrange to meet in well-lit places or well-populated areas where CCTV cameras are operating in an isolated area and preferably away from your home address. If you're using an ATM, be aware of your surroundings when withdrawing money. Don't count your money in public. Always cover the keypad when you enter in your PIN number and have a friend watch out for you when withdrawing money. To protect your valuables such as mobile phones, laptops, GPS, car keys, bank cards, make sure you keep your bags and items out of sight. Zip your bags, never leave your belongings unattended, and always be alert of who's around you. When purchasing new items, record the serial number. Keep a record of the serial number in a safe place. It's saved on a USB with a photo of the receipt or a photo of the item. That way it can easily be identified if it's lost or stolen. Take photos of your jewellery and anything of value that may be lost or stolen. Consider engraving your push bike or engraving tools, items of value. Put an identifying mark on them so that you are able to identify that product as your own. It makes it a lot easier for police to be able to return things to their rightful owner. When using public transport, have a current MyKey card. Once again, be aware of your surroundings. Always hold on to your bag and don't fall asleep. Be aware of safety cameras and emergency buttons. Change carriages if you feel unsafe while waiting for trains. Try to stand or sit near station cameras. Know the timetable so you don't have to wait too long at the station platform. If you're driving to a station, park your car in an area where it's safe, under cameras, under lights, where things are visible, and never leave items of value on display. It's prohibited to carry weapons such as knives in public, a lawful excuse. Self-defense is not considered a lawful excuse. Penalties, including fines and imprisonment, may apply. If you're going on a night out to a licensed premises, be aware that the licensee, or the manager, or his employees have a right to refuse your entry. If refused entry, just walk away. By law, staff must not supply alcohol to any person who is intoxicated. For all your motor vehicle requirements, look up the VicRoads website. Any information you need regarding licensing, including overseas permits, is available on that website. If you have any questions in relation to permits, contact VicRoads. It's important to be aware, if you are driving, let's pass at 40. That means if you see any emergency vehicle, police, fire, ambulance on the side of the road, you must slow down to 40 before passing. If you happen to be involved in a traffic accident, stop and help. Exchange your name, address and other details. Report to police on 000 if a person's injured. Report an accident to your insurance company. It's really important to understand you must be under 0.05 to drive a car unless you are a probation licensee, then you must be 0.00. That means no alcohol in your system whatsoever. Police have the power to seize your motor vehicle if you are caught committing certain offences. If you are driving a motor vehicle, you must carry your driver's permit. You must provide your name and address to police if you're pulled over while driving. Traffic cameras, speed cameras and red light cameras operate in Australia. If you're driving in a built-up area and do not know the speed limit, default to 50. You must wear a seatbelt whether you're the driver or a passenger, and do not use your mobile phone whilst driving. Most importantly, for police, fire or ambulance, please call 666.
I know it's all getting a little bit overwhelming. We're almost finished and then we're going to have a lunch for you all. Okay, so any external counselling services? I know that Alston was talking about Lifeline earlier on. There's some other emergency services, etc. Life and Study in Melbourne, your Moodle, as we said, is your main contact or the main area for your subjects and everything like that. I know that Alston talked about Study Melbourne. Study Melbourne is certainly a great resource. There's a lot of free things that they offer for students, both internationally and domestic students. Your Rights in Australia, again, Study Melbourne certainly have got the resources there. So if you're worried about anything, click on the link and they can certainly help you with that. Noni spoke to us about the policies and appeals processes. So that was the link to that one. And any campus facility. So, you know, the MAC and I think even Loss on Campus might be on that link. Okay, now everyone who has got their phone, certainly maybe over lunch, we would like you to make sure that your details are up to date. So certainly the international students, if you just come to Australia, make sure that you put your Australian address as the street address and your cell phone being your Australian cell phone number, and your international phone number would be just the phone number. Okay. You've done exceptionally well. Well done. So that is the end of the presentation.